Today was a really good day. When I got up, I took the kitty back to this park, Odell Park, to walk around and hang out for a bit before we hit the road, because I planned on another good 4 hour long drive today. So we hung out there for a good hour while I sipped on a coffee and read my book a little bit, and she ran around and played. And again, some kids came over and played with the cat for a little bit. And then I ran into a guy who remembered me from a few weeks ago when I was passing through eastward. There's like a frisbee golf course at the park there, and he plays, and he was playing last time, and I guess we chatted for a little bit, and he remembered me, but I've seen so many faces in the past little while that I didn't really remember him. But he commented on how big the kitty cat's grown since then and asked about the trip, and it was really cool seeing someone I knew on the way back. Then we headed off down the road, and I didn't fill up on gas before I left Fredericton, which in hindsight, I'm glad that I didn't. I came pretty close to running out of gas, but as soon as I realized I was low, I looked on the phone map where the next station was, and it was down a little detour down the old highway. Just a tiny little gas station, one pump for diesel, one pump for gas, and a auto mechanic garage attached to it. Just looks like it's been there for years the same way. And then when I went inside, the sweet old lady behind the counter, we get chatting for, good 5 or 10 minutes. Asked me about the camper, and when I told her that I'm heading home and I've been all the way out to Newfoundland, she asks how I liked that, and just a really great person to run into. And then she explained to me the directions down the back highway here to get to the main road. And even though I've got the phone map in my pocket, I still listened and just followed her directions back to the road just fine. As I've been hurrying home, I kind of forgot how important little moments like that are. They're really what the trip's all about. These tiny little communities, they're full of such great people. You only gotta meet them for a few minutes to realize what great people they are. So, with lots of gas in the tank, it should be the second last tank that I need to buy on the trip. Headed back down the road towards Riviere-du-Loup. As I get further and further west now, it's getting hot. Spending the summer out in the Maritimes where it's nice and cool at night, and I don't mind the I don't mind the heat so bad when I'm used to it, but as I get further inland now, I'm getting reminded that it is still August. Late August, sure, but it's a summer month, and it was such a bright, clear day that the sun beating down, I was glad to be going down the road with the windows open. Lots of construction along this route, too. Lots of road work being done. They have to. Another few months and they won't be able to get any of it done. But I remembered today that the truck has cruise control. I haven't used it at all on the trip yet, but going down, well, I guess in a lot of places it wouldn't have been smart to since it's so hilly. But on some of these flat stretches, it was nice to set that to just the speed limit and putt along and rest my right leg a bit. Yeah, I'm not as tired out today as I was the past few days after the long drive, even though I did a good long distance. And I think part of that is just from having some good conversations with people, even if they didn't last too long. Just a bit of human contact will really do wonders for you. Forget that sometimes. So I'm not nearly as tired tonight as I've been lately. Really energized by having some good, solid connecting moments with some people. That's what was fueling me as I started on the trip. And I'm pretty excited now. Either tomorrow or the day after, I'm going to pass through Montreal and hopefully visit with Leo and Maggie again. And then the day after that, I'll be passing through Ottawa and see my buddy Aaron again. And it's nice getting further west now, seeing more familiar faces. Kind strangers are nice, but familiar faces are a different kind of nice. And the landscapes, as I get up into New Brunswick now, these rolling, rounded off green little mountains and hills. I forgot just how beautiful some of what I passed through was. Now passing back through it, get to realize it again. So when I got into Riviere-du-Loup here, I found a cool park built around a waterfall right in the city. I ended up chatting with the guy. He saw me with the kitty cat running around playing. I was just sitting at a bench, and he came over and asked me something that I didn't understand in French, and I already had a thought out response ready because I knew by tone what he was asking. Like, is that your cat? And I said, Elle avec moi. Like, she's with me. But then he said something else that I still couldn't understand, so I had to admit to him, je ne parle très bien. Like, and then he switched to English just like that and said to me, like, oh, great, I don't get enough chances to practice my English. Everyone around here just speaks French. So he enjoyed practicing his English, and he speaks it perfectly for a guy who doesn't get much practice. And yeah, he showed me some pictures of his cat on his phone. The thing's a giant with long fur and big bluish green eyes. It's ah, those moments of connection are so important. It was good to sit down and chat with him. I didn't even get his name. Park there was just called Waterfalls Park, or Parc des Chutes in French. And it was a pretty sweet place. I didn't check out very much of it because I ended up chatting for a while, and then the kitty started misbehaving a little bit. So I took her back to the truck. The cat was going way too close to the edge. There's a sharp drop and then down to the water. So I had to make her sit on the bench there just so I could get a video of the falls.